Hi, bestie. Welcome back to Living with Ease, and I'm so sorry I've been gone for 2 weeks. It was very unintentional. If you're watching on YouTube right now, first of all, my room is a mess. I'm a mess. I just got in very late last night, 3 a.m. last night. But I want to have this up for you tomorrow because I don't want to go 3 weeks in a row without talking to you. Basically, I'll just quickly, my mic was not working. The mic that I always use was not working. And then I have this other mic that's a lot nicer that I just bought, but I don't know what cord I need to get for it. So then I thought it was my computer not working, but I figured out this morning that it is my mic that's not working. So I have this old mic that I've never used that I got 3 years ago to record, and I hope the quality is still okay on it. It's a Yeti mic, which I've heard are not the best from some people. Anyway, I'm gonna have the very good mic for next week, but I'm really sorry for being gone so long, and I missed you, and it gave me so much anxiety because it's actually on the topic of today's episode. I'm gonna go over all my failures, but one of my big failures of 2023 was just not being consistent, and the podcast is the one thing. It's my baby, and I really want to be super consistent with it, so it gave me such bad anxiety not posting for the past 2 weeks because I know if you've been with me this past year, I haven't been consistent in anything, and this is the one thing I want to be consistent in. So anyway, I'm happy to be back, and I'm so sorry for being gone so long, and it will not happen again. It was just this crazy mic situation. I'm gonna make sure really quick that the mic is working and it is recording. Hold on. Okay. We are recording. Anyway, I hope you had a happy holiday. I just got home. I went to my parents' house for Christmas, and I got home last night at like I said, 3 a.m. And I am very happy to be back in LA. I love going home, and I love my parents. I'm very close with them, and I get super homesick. It doesn't matter how old I get, I never am able to leave my parents' house and go home without sobbing. And the older I get, I keep hoping that will eventually stop, but it just doesn't. But on the other hand, whenever I go home, I grew up in a very small town, and I don't really have that many friends that I grew up with, I guess, that are still there. Celia is my best friend, and then my best friend Alex, and aside from that, I have a few friends, but long story short, when I go home, it's in a small town and there's nothing to do, and it's very easy for me to get depressed because I get so in my head about everything, and I have so much time to just sit and think. So I'm actually kind of happy to be back right now, just because I definitely got sad over things that I haven't been sad over for a year while I was home, just because I was sitting and ruminating on things and just thinking, and I think it just brings back a lot of I don't know. So I'm happy to be back in LA with the girlies, but I do miss my parents. It feels good to be back and getting back in my routine. I also was really bad about posting and recording and doing anything while I was home, so I'm ready to it was a good break, but I'm ready to just get back on the train and get going. So anyway, today I saw this trend on TikTok that's your failures of 2023 rather than the goals and the good things you did during 2023, and I thought that is such a good trend because social media, so much of it is comparing yourself to what others have achieved this year, and I feel with the end of the year, people go over oh my god, I did this and this and this and this and this, and it doesn't make me really feel good. I mean, I'm happy for people, but sometimes, especially when you feel you didn't achieve as much, it doesn't feel good to see everyone else just achieving all their goals, and then you're okay, well, I didn't. So normalize, some years you don't achieve goals, and I think every year you have failures. I have a pretty long list. I made a big list of all my failures for the year, and I thought we would just go over my list today, and maybe this can help you if you're feeling maybe 2023 wasn't the year you wanted it to be. I know for me it definitely wasn't, and there were so many things that I wanted to happen that just didn't. And I think that's okay. It's okay to have some years that aren't just great years, and it's okay to not get everything done. I'm just gonna get right into the list with you. If you're watching on YouTube, I have a big list on my phone of 12 things I failed at this year. So starting off strong, I failed the MPRE again, which is the stupid ethics exam you have to take to get sworn in on top of the bar exam. The bar exam's the hard part, and then there's also for New York to get sworn in, you have to pass the MPRE and the NYLE. And I, to be honest, was just lazy and did not get around to taking the NYLE, which I meant to do. And the MPRE, I also was quite literally just lazy. I did take it, but if I'm being honest, I like barely studied for it, and I think it's because I know right now, like, I do not want to be a lawyer and have no passion or desire for that. That being said, I meant to get sworn in this year because I still passed the bar and went to law school. Like, I want to make sure to get sworn in. And yeah, I failed the MPRE, and that was embarrassing. Then I made a TikTok being like, oh yeah, I failed the MPRE. And of course, most of the comments were very positive, but there were a lot of comments being like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're so lazy. You failed the MPRE. That's the easiest test in the world. So that's my number one failure, is I failed the MPRE for a second time. So next year, I really need to just like sit down, take the MPRE seriously, take the NYLE, get them over with, get sworn in, because it's giving me anxiety. I put so much work into passing the bar. That was like one of the hardest summers of my life. And I don't want these two little tests to prevent me from getting sworn in. Even if it's not something I want to do right now or anytime soon, I still don't want to let me passing the bar go to complete waste. I have 3 years to pass them, but now we're going on year 2. So for 2024, I do plan on passing stupid MPRE and stupid NYLE, and it's okay to fail exams. It's nothing about how smart you are. I should have put more work in and studied a little bit more. So that was my number one failure of 2023. Second failure of 2023, relationships. I had several failed relationships, if you could even call them relationships. I think it was another year of just situationships for myself, and I went into 2023 wanting a boyfriend. I have been single now for 4 years, which makes me feel so weird. It's like, fine. I know it's not a reflection of myself, but I even did the stupid little thing where I saw on TikTok, you sit under the table on New Year's Eve with the red underwear on, you eat 12 grapes. I did that, but it did not work for me. Still no boyfriend, and just like some tumultuous, I mean, you know, the situationships I had this year just like weren't great, and it is starting to make me feel like a little panicked. I know it's fine, but like on the other hand, like I am 26 now, and it's just weird because like when I think about like, for example, my parents and like all my friends' parents, like most were like married by 26 and like having kids. And I know that our generation, if you're in my generation listening, like it's a little different now, and things, I guess people get married later and have kids later, but like I don't know. Now that I'm 26, I'm like starting to kind of panic because I have been single for 4 years and I don't really know what I'm doing wrong. And I know that they say like everyone, like whatever, your person comes at the right time. And I do believe that, and I believe that everyone has like their person and they're somewhere out there. Luna, please be careful. But it does just, I don't know. Now that I've been single for 4 years, like I have not ever been single this long, and it's starting to make me feel weird. And it just seems like no one wants to be like in an actual relationship with me. Or if they do, they're super controlling and super possessive, and it's not healthy. And then I have to walk away. So I don't really know. I don't know. I guess it was just another year of me. It wasn't my time to be in a relationship, but I am such a relationship person. And I literally just want a boyfriend. I want a boyfriend so bad. And I know that like you can't want a boyfriend for a boyfriend to come, but that was definitely a failure of mine because I was really hoping. But it is just single me with the girls yet another year. And I was like thinking about it when I was home for Christmas, because I was like, wow, for the past 4 years, whenever I go home for Christmas, I'm either like sad about a guy or single. And this is so negative. I know I make such a good girlfriend, but whatever. It will eventually happen. I don't really like, I'm on dating apps, but I don't know. I feel like nothing really comes from Hinge. Nothing really comes from Raya. And I just feel like that's not how I'm going to meet my person. So I don't really know. I don't really put myself out there that much. So maybe that's why I'm still single. But like when I look at my friends, like I have so many friends who go through breakups and then they get a boyfriend like a few months later. And like I've literally been single for 4 years. So I just don't really know what's wrong with me. And I know it's nothing actually wrong with me and it's fine. And I'm very independent and I'm like content, but I do want a boyfriend. So that is my ramble about, I definitely failed at getting a boyfriend this year. Definitely wanted one, definitely did not get one. So, number 3 failure of this year, I wanted to grow a lot more on social media. And this is like being very vulnerable because it makes me feel super exposed to talk about this with, I know it's just you and me, but like, I don't know, like online, because it's kind of embarrassing. And I know that like everyone has like flop eras and it's normal, and like social media, there's like growths and then there's ruts and then there's growths and then there's ruts, but I did not grow on social media like I wanted to this year. I hit 1 million followers last November, and I'm so grateful for that, obviously, and I can't believe that I have so many people supporting me, but I have just been like stuck at that number for so long, and it makes me feel like I'm doing, like, just being completely vulnerable, it makes me feel like I am just becoming irrelevant, and that's like a really scary feeling, and it makes me feel like no one cares about me anymore. And I know, like, obviously, like, the people in my real life care about me, but I feel like I kind of let myself fall off because 2023 was a really hard year for me. And if you've been with me this year, you've probably noticed, and I talked about this a little bit, I think, on the first episode, but I just have not been consistent in anything I've done. So, of course, I'm not going to grow. I, like, stopped posting like I used to, and I miss how I used to post and do vlogs and do cooking videos and, like, share my life with everyone, but I got really depressed this year, to be honest, and then on top of that, I felt like there were a lot of people who were just so aggressive and like saying like, why would we want to watch your content anymore because you're not in law school anymore, like we don't even want to watch you, and then that gave me anxiety and made me kind of freeze and just like stop posting like I used to post, and in turn I feel like it just hasn't really been a good year for me social media wise because I have not really grown. And that just like doesn't make me feel good because I had specific goals I wanted to reach, and I do get like so scared of just like falling off one day and like everyone just like no longer caring. And I know obviously like with any social media person that just is like a natural way things happen and like you have to accept that, but I also love doing this and connecting with you and having a community, and I miss feeling more connected with my community and like feeling passionate about doing this, and there's really nothing else I want to do. I'm so grateful for this job. So next year I want to put really my all into it again and see what happens, because I don't know. I wasn't really a good quote unquote influencer this year, if you will. I was not consistent with posting. I posted things just like random thirst traps and like, I don't know, I don't want to put my content down too much, but my content used to be like so good. I'd vlog like every second of my day, and then I just got burnt out and I got depressed and I got insecure about what I was posting, and that's where I'm at right now. Like a year ago, I wouldn't have even been able to imagine going like a week without posting, but I just went home and didn't post for a week, and like I don't know, it just doesn't feel good. So I really next year want to start growing again and building a community. Even if like I don't grow, I just want to become like closer with my community again, because I feel like I have gotten less close with everyone because I stopped letting people in so much. And like I was thinking about it, like people don't even really know what's going on in my life anymore because I don't talk about it, I don't post about it. And it's like, then I'm like, would I even want to follow myself right now? And I know I'm extra hard on myself, but I don't know. I just want to get back to a place where I'm like proud of my social media, feel like I have like, I know I have my community, but I feel like I'm just like not giving everyone what I should be giving them. And I get comments all the time being like, I miss your old content. And I miss my old content too. And that like makes me so sad. So I just want to go back to like the old me where I loved filming everything and sharing everything, and you know. So that's failure number 3, I think. It was just I got in like a major rut and lacked a lot of consistency. Hi, Luna. Going off of that, I think what I failed at number 4 is just figuring out what the purpose of my life is. And I think that really coincides with being depressed and not posting and not having a routine and not staying consistent. I let myself just kind of do whatever I wanted this year. And I don't want to be like hard on myself about that because I'm so grateful that I was in a position where I could just do whatever I want. But I wish I would have taken some of that time and done more with it because I really just don't feel like I don't know. I still don't know what my purpose is. I feel still very lost. Like I moved to LA and at the end of the day, moving still doesn't fix your problems. And I'm going into 2024 still feeling so lost. And maybe that's just like your 20s. Maybe, I don't know, maybe in your 20s you just don't know what you're doing, but I don't feel comfortable not knowing what I'm doing and not knowing what my purpose is. And I was hoping that I would go into 2024 feeling more comfortable about my purpose and who I am and like what I see even like for like a 5-year plan. And like I just don't really, being completely honest, like I don't really know what my purpose is or what I'm doing. And I think that makes me depressed. And when I talk about this with people, then they're like, well, maybe social media isn't the job for you, but it's not that. Like, I want nothing more than to just, like, I love doing this. I've always loved YouTube and podcast, and I love TikTok. I love posting. Like, it makes me so happy when I'm actually doing it. But I think I let myself get lost because I just stopped being consistent with it because I didn't have a structure of school anymore, and that structure of school made me be consistent with everything else because I had no choice. But then I got too much free time and honestly just got lazy, and I feel lost, and I just feel like I still don't really know who I am or what I'm doing, and I think that's reflected in my content too. And then, yeah, not to bring it back to comments, but then I will get comments of people being like, it's clear, like, you're so lost, like, you're not actually happy. And those comments, like, hit hard because I'm like, yeah, I mean, that is not wrong. Like, I am so unbelievably lost. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. So, yeah. This is a small one, but number 5 is just texting people back and maintaining friendships. I do pride myself. I think I'm a very good friend. But the one thing I'm not good at is texting people back. I can call anyone. If someone calls me, I'll answer and I'll be right there. But I like can't text people back and I don't know how to explain it. I get texts, I see them, and then I feel overwhelmed. And I'm like, okay, I'll text them later. And then days go by. And then I'm like, oh my God, I haven't texted them for days. And then other people text me. And then I'm like, well, I haven't even texted this person back, so I can't text this person back. And then I get like this major anxiety in my stomach, and it builds and builds and builds and builds. And then I've gotten to a point where now it's like 15 people I haven't texted back, and it's nothing personal. Like, I care deeply about all these people, but I just can't text them back. And I think that's an anxiety, like depression thing. I don't know, but I'm really bad at communicating with my friends aside from phone calls. I'm good at phone calls, but I want to be better at texting people back because it makes me feel so awful because I like literally hate when people don't text me back. It's not a good feeling. So I don't ever want to give someone that feeling. So I'm trying to get better at texting people back. That's like another goal of mine, I guess, for 2024 is I just want to get better at staying in contact with my friends. And even like I have like a lot of like lifelong friends who I just feel like I've fallen out of contact with, maybe on both of our ends, and I just want to like get better at staying in and maintaining relationships. So that's another thing I feel like I failed at this year. So number 6, I definitely failed at just being mindful with how I spend and like keeping track of things. I think for 2024 I need to get a financial advisor because I was just a little reckless this year. Like, I just didn't really... The weird thing with social media is you get, like, these, like, massive amounts of money coming in, but, like, you don't know when they're coming in, and then you forget about them, and then, like, it's really bad. Like, I don't keep... And I'm not saying, like, massive to, like, flex. I'm saying, like, like some months you make no money, some months you have like a huge check come in from like all the brand deals because they build up, and like I never know what's coming in and what's going out, and I think I spend a little recklessly, and I really want to work on next year, like just like I think I just need to get a financial advisor. I need to be more aware of what is coming in and out of my bank account because like especially like when taxes come, oh my god, my accountant like probably hates me. I am like always it's like scrambling to make my profit and loss sheet and like get all my records together, and like I'm very grateful that I'm in a position obviously where I can kind of be reckless and still be okay. Like obviously that's insane, but on the other hand, like I feel like ashamed of how much I've like spent and not saved. I need to get a lot better at saving next year. And I don't want to totally knock myself down because I am pretty good. My grandpa like makes me invest my money, so I have been good at investing, but I don't keep track of anything. It's really, really, really bad and very irresponsible. So yeah, I just like failed at like being mindful. I feel like I just like will buy things and then like I don't know, I was talking about it with my friend Alex the other day. Like I'll go to Target and just like buy random stuff and then be like, why did I buy that? Like I just want to be more mindful not only of what I'm buying next year, but also like just like tracking my income, because I feel like that's something they don't really teach you in school obviously. And I don't know, I went from making no money to like making money, and I'm not good at like keeping track of it. So I think I need to get a financial advisor so I feel more like comfortable, just because it is like anxiety inducing, like not really, I don't know. I just don't keep track of anything. It's really bad. So that is me being vulnerable and honest with you. I am just like, I've been irresponsible this year, and I'm trying to get better at like keeping track of everything for the next year. Number 7, I also got in a pretty big health rut this year, I would say eating wise and exercise wise. I just did not stay consistent in a workout routine at all. I didn't stay consistent. I ate so unhealthy this year. I just ate out so much and like kind of stopped cooking as much, and also just formed like kind of unhealthy eating habits where like, trigger warning, like I'll accidentally skip meals and then like I don't know, then like eat like binge eat for dinner, and like I don't know, I just feel like I was pretty unhealthy with like the way I've been eating this year, not really being mindful of what I'm putting into my body at all. And also just I go like weeks and weeks and weeks without exercising at all anymore, and that's very unlike me. If you know me by now, you know I'm a very anxious person, and one thing that really, really helps me with being anxious is exercise, and I just have not been exercising like at all. So I don't know, I need to just like get back on track because it helps me so much. I like for a little period this summer I got consistent about hiking every day and I was feeling so good, and then I just like fell off again, and now like I really like it doesn't even cross my mind anymore. Like that's how bad it's gotten. So I want to get better about exercising and like eating healthy and just like having healthier habits next year, because I think I kind of treated my body like a trash can this past year. Like I just was not healthy. Number 8, I did not get a therapist. I did go on anxiety medication, so I'm proud of myself for that. I got a psychiatrist, but I still have not gotten a therapist, and I don't know what is like holding me off from getting a therapist. I really need a therapist. I just feel like I've had such bad experiences in the past. Like I'm too lazy to look for a therapist because often it's a lot of trial and error till you find someone that you really actually like. But I really need a therapist. Like the anxiety medication helps, but it has helped honestly a lot. That being said, like I feel like there's so much stuff I need to work through from my past, and I need definitely someone like professional to work through that with, and I didn't get a therapist. That's a very easy fix. I just need to go find a therapist. But that is one thing I failed at. I'm going into 2024 without a therapist, and I really should have a therapist because I am so anxious and like, yeah, I'm anxious and spiraling all the time. Although the Prozac has really helped with the spirals. But oh my God, side note, I was on Wellbutrin for a week and then I stopped taking it because it was giving me, so I added that on top of Prozac because it's supposed to like help you be more motivated and stuff. And I like told you guys like I haven't been motivated or organized with anything, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this on top of it. But it gave me such bad anxiety. It's supposed to be an antidepressive, but I feel like I got so weirdly depressed on it for like the 1 week I was on it. And I know like sometimes you have to tough it out, but like I was getting heart palpitations, I was so anxious, I had zero appetite. Like I can't do Wellbutrin, and I feel like my brain is still balancing out from that 1 week on it. So that did not help me, but Prozac has been really helping me, and I think I'm going to just, instead of going on Wellbutrin, we're going to just up my Prozac. But yeah, I need to get a therapist. I really need to get a therapist. Okay, are we on number 9, I think? Number 9, I just still seek so much external validation. And I wish that I didn't. I think in this career, it's really easy to seek a lot of external validation, but I don't know. I like care so much about what people online think about me. When I post a video and it doesn't do well, I get so embarrassed and I archive it like immediately. And then I like walk around feeling ashamed for the day. Like same with Instagram, if I don't get enough likes, like I take it so personally if like people aren't commenting on my video like usual, or like a podcast doesn't do as well as I want it to be, or a YouTube video doesn't do as well as I want it to do. Like I take that so to heart, and I think like that is really my one source of validation right now. Like I don't really validate myself that much. Like it's weird because I do love myself and like I'm pretty independent, but I do think, I mean, I'm not really seeking validation in men, so I guess that's a plus for me and a change for me, but I seek so much external validation from people online. I should care about how I feel about myself, and like I know like my close friends and family love me, and like I love myself, and my kitties love me, and I'm letting like random people online who are mean, or like the way a video performs because of an algorithm like affect how I literally feel about myself, and that's not okay. And that really started last year. It never really was a problem for me until last year, and it's just gotten worse, not better. So yeah, that's something else I failed at, is like I like desperately seek external validation, and it's not good. Like when I have a video doing well, like I feel on top of the world. And when I have a video doing bad, I feel like so ashamed and like such a loser. Like sometimes I don't even want to go outside because I feel so embarrassed, and that's not normal and not good, and I shouldn't let it affect me that much. I need to just like be comfortable with myself. So this is a small one, number 11. I just didn't bring my screen time down. Like my screen time, this is embarrassing. My screen time is like 9 to sometimes 12 hours a day. I don't even know how. Yes, it's my job, I film, but a lot of it is just scrolling on TikTok, and like that's like so sickening. I don't know how my screen time gets that high. Being on my phone gives me so much anxiety. Like, of course I'm anxious if I'm literally staring at my phone all day. So I really meant to bring my screen time down this year and just didn't. I really, really, really need to bring my screen time down next year, because I'm like wasting, what, if I'm awake for like 12 hours a day and my screen time's 12 hours a day, what am I doing all day? Like, that's insane. So I really need to bring my screen time down. Number 12 is, this like didn't really end in a failure, but it still was just like a weird year. I switched management so much this year, which is just like an unsettling feeling. I left my first management that I was with just because like they were not even in the same time zone country as me. Like they were like 6 hours ahead, and like it was just complicated, and there were like some other issues that I won't get into, but like I left them, and I think that was a good choice. And then I went to another management that was like totally fine. There wasn't anything wrong with them, but I just felt like they weren't, I don't know. I felt like I wasn't getting enough from them. So then I switched again when I moved to LA and like totally got like talked into this management that said they were going to do like this and this and this and this for me. And it was like the worst. It was like the biggest management I'd ever been with, but they just did not even like speak to me. Like they did not respond to my texts, like anything. And like I went from getting like a ton of brand deals to like stopping getting brand deals with them. Like it was really bad. So then I just made a switch from them again. Now I have a very good team with a manager who I know very well and she knows me very well, and I'm with an agency that I'm really excited to be with, and I have a publicist. Like I feel good now, but it's still like I wish I would have figured that out a little bit earlier rather than jumping through so many different managements this year. That was just, I don't know. I don't want to ever switch management again because it's not a good feeling and not a fun conversation, and it's unsettling, and then like brands have to adjust to the fact that like you have a new manager again. So yeah, I just want to stick to my current team, but I'm very happy with my team right now. So I guess that wasn't like a total failure, but in retrospect, I mean, whatever. Hindsight is, what do they say about hindsight? I don't know. You know the quote, whatever. Number 12, 13 is I definitely still think I'm depressed. Like I started this year depressed and I'm ending this year not as depressed, but I don't think I'm like the happiest I've ever been in my life. And I don't want to feel depressed, obviously, but I definitely think I'm still a little depressed. Like it's not like all the time really, but I just don't feel like super happy. Like I don't wake up and feel happy really. And I don't really go to bed being like, oh, I'm happy. So I don't know. I hope maybe next year I won't be depressed anymore. Maybe, I mean, with the Prozac, it's been helping, and hopefully it will continue to help. And a therapist. Hopefully I can get out of this because I feel like I've been depressed for like a year and a half, and it's just like not fun, obviously. So yeah, still depressed, but that's okay. I'm not as depressed as I was at the beginning of the year, so that's a plus at least. And my last one is just like, you know that trend right now where you show yourself at the end of 2022 or whatever? What is it? No. Yeah. You show yourself at the beginning of 2023 and the end of 2023. I like literally don't want to do that trend because I feel like I was so much prettier last year. I feel like I have just like declined this year. I don't know. I just feel like I haven't been treating my body well, and like I don't know. I just like I don't feel like I'm as pretty as I was last year. So that's like not really a failure, but I don't know. I don't want to participate in that trend because I definitely feel like I don't want to use the word ugly, but I feel like I declined in my appearance this year. So I want to get back to like feeling confident in myself and good about myself next year. But yeah, those are my 13, 14 failures of 2023. And I hope that this maybe made you feel better if you feel like you didn't get everything done. I think it's really normal to have failures, and like some years aren't going to be that great and some years are going to be the best. And this year for me, like it wasn't a bad year, but it definitely wasn't like a great year. It felt like just a very messy year. It felt very messy. And I want just like an organized, happy, structured year next year. So I'm hoping that next year will bring that. And I'm going to like sit down and make a list of like everything that I think, like not goals of like specific things, more just like behavior changes I need to make in order to achieve like higher arcing goals. But anyway, I love you so much, and I guess next time I'll talk to you next year, right? Because yeah, it's New Year's Eve on Sunday, I think. Which, by the way, if it makes you feel better, I am literally doing nothing for New Year's Eve. So I might like get dinner with my friend when she gets out of work, but if you don't have New Year's Eve plans, like I also haven't had really like real New Year's Eve plans in like 4 years, and I think that's totally okay. So don't feel weird about yourself if you're staying at home doing nothing, because that is what I will be doing right there with you. So anyway, I love you so much, and I'm sorry for being gone. I promise I will never be gone that long again, And I will talk to you next week. I love you so much. Bye, bestie.